Hello again everyone. Today you join me on the banks of the River Wye at Hereford again. I'm fishing on the Asda bank. Not sure what the peg number is, but we're sort of, as you come up the ramp from Asda's, it's one of the first pegs directly in front of the ramp. Just a sec, because that's dropping and I don't want it to. Right, I've had a couple of small chub. I've also had a few perch, and weirdly enough, first for me on this stretch of the river anyway. In fact, I can't think of a river I fished on where I've had a skimmer bream. So I've had a skimmer bream as well, and there's the bleak are back now in the river. While it was really cold, you never seen sign of them, but I've noticed when the sort of sun goes on the water in a certain direction, you can see that it's absolutely riddled with them in you. So that's something they've had to contend with today. But I've been out fishing in the middle with bread. I've had a couple of chub on bread in the middle. I've also had a couple of dace on casters, a bit closer in. But the wind picked up earlier on and it made fishing very difficult. It was horrible to fish here. It sort of came right across at you and it was catching a line all the time. So I came in and I've been using a Edge Monster margin pole on the inside, and that's where I picked up the perch and the skimmer bream. But I'm just about to now go back out, because it's calmed down a little bit, the wind have, and see if I can pick up another chub. As you can see, I'm not far from the bridge where I fished last time. Okay guys, it's been one of those days for me today. It's been a bit blowy, a bit cold as well. My manager appears to have fared quite well today, Mark Jones. He seems to have had a nice bag of chub. He's been fishing a lot further out than what I've been doing, and it's not an area where he's been putting feed in either. He's been fishing sort of 3/4 of the way across the River Wye, and he's managed to pick up quite a few chub. A couple of them have been about 2 pound in weight as well, all on corn. Every fish he had was on corn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swing you round to just give you a view of where I am. I'm actually opposite the rowing club, this Hereford rowing club. So there we are, and the famous swims just below those two bridges. You can actually fish under the one, that's peg 95. That's quite good, but the more favourable swim is actually between the two bridges, and that's peg 96, and that's where the really big bags of fish have been caught. Like I said, there was 2 anglers fishing underneath the peg 95 today, and rather than disturb them, because while you access peg 96, you either have to go past the people that are fishing on steps on peg 95, and then sort of disturb them, if you like, because the 2 guys that were fishing it, they both had wheelbarrows up on the path, so it would have been awkward for me to go past them. And the only other way of getting to the swim is actually climbing over railings, and at my age that's not the type of thing I want to be doing. So anyway, the next thing I'll show you now is my net of fish, and hopefully I'll be able to fish out the skimmer bream, if it all goes successful, that is, because it's in a bit of an awkward position, the skeet net. So be advised, if you do come up the river and the river's low, that you have to have at least 6 rings in the water, which I do have. And the only reason I've been able to do that is I've used the matrix feeder arm. I've extended it, and I've got my keep net on the end of that, so that's sort of giving me an extra 3 foot of net, if you like, that I've got available in the water. because as you can imagine, we've had no rain for a while. The water is really clear. I don't know whether you'll be able to see the bait that I've discarded in the side. Maybe not. But you can see by the end of my net, that's sort of 4.5, 5 foot deep there. And you can see the end of my net quite clearly. So not much footage with the fishing today. But a fairly enjoyable day nonetheless. So like I said, the next video clip you'll see is the netted fish if I'm successful in bringing them in. And I may do a little video of my manager fishing down there. Down below me, that is. So then will be a sec while I try and bring these fish in. Okay, so I managed to bring the fish in. I'll just turn this round so you can see them. There we go in the net. As you can see, I've caught a few fish there. Always an awkward job for me to show you these fish properly. A couple of shovelets. I'm trying to find where the skimmer green went, because the likelihood of me catching another one of them is going to be quite remote. So managed to bury itself somewhere in here. I got it. So there we go. What else have I been? Quite feisty as well, because I got all the fish out on the River Wye. There's a few chublets in there. A couple of nice perch. There's a perch. Got a couple of decent dace as well. And I've had a few chublets. And these are going to go back in very shortly now, because I don't want to cause them much more distress than they have. So I'll knock you off again for a sec while I put these fish back. Yeah, I'm just doing a bit of filming of my manager Mark Jones here on Hereford. He was fishing the peg above me, and let's hope we can catch a nice chub for us. He's fishing with the bread on the inside, but most of the day he's been fishing, like I said to you earlier on, at least 3/4 of the way across the River Wye. What sort of weight float did you have on that?
For the 6 gram.
A 6 gram bolo float, and he was fishing with sweet corn. He had all his fish on sweet corn down from where Hereford Rowing Club is, and there's a couple of red brick houses opposite, and that's where he was getting his fish. So he has done really well today. I'd estimate the bag of fish I caught is around about £8, no more than that. And I think Max got a good £20 by the sound of it.
Yeah, I've had probably 10 £2 fish.
Well, there's £20 in itself, and you've got small stuff to go with it, haven't you? Dace and whatever.
Yeah, probably every £6 or £7.
Your Max, by the sound of it, he's pushing £30 a fish here, which is a good bag of fish, because as we all know, anyone who goes fishing on the River Wye at Hereford can be very peggy. So, you know, £30 bag of fish for the match when it comes up here, most of them will be well happy with that, because the red hot pegs under the bridges, that's where most of the weights have been coming from. And then you've got the odd ones here and there where they're just landing on a big shoulder fish. In between, some of the anglers in the matches have even blanked. So he's out again now. He's about just over halfway. You're not going to be able to pick it up on this camera, I doubt it anyway, but the floats with the light, the sunlight that is, it's reflecting on the float quite nicely, and you're able to see it quite well. Can you see it all right down by there where you are, Mark, as well?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
If anything, it's showing up better now than what it was earlier on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just about perfect for that float now. There's a white building opposite me. I don't know whether it's flats, probably flats, but it's built on stilts. You know, so if it does flood, because a lot of these homes are surrounded River Wye, they do get flooded out, but that's given them some leeway. Because bear in mind that the path is behind me now. The water actually came up to that path in the recent floods. So if you take that as the building across from me, without the building being supported with those pillars underneath it, they would have probably gone into those flats as well. Now I do feel for the people that live around here, you know, it's part of the downside of living on the River Wye is when they get floods, the flood water comes in your home. Mark's back on his sweet corn. He's got a bit of a tangle at the moment, yeah, we all know what that's like. As soon as I've got 5 minutes, I'm going to take a stroll down and have a look where these famous tennis courts are. See you a bit later, Mark. Just following the path now. I think we're alright for film at the moment, so hopefully I'm going to show you where this peg, where everyone's been catching all these fish out. You know, there's been mixed bags of fish. It's mainly chub, but there are dace and roach in amongst the bags of fish these guys have been catching. I can't imagine there not being anything but flats across me, because people have got chairs on, they've got little balconies to go with. I imagine they cost quite a few pennies to buy one of them. This is peg 95. So you can see all the stones in there. On the side here. But one thing they couldn't do the last time I fished here, there's like a concrete slab. Well, I might take a look at that now. Quite close to the water so you can get really close to the water on this peg, which is ideal really for fishing. I'll just come on, Jay. Steps are a bit big. Oh, there's a yellow wagtail down here. Don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. There's a nice concrete step down there. It looks like a bit of a spillway on the side here. Luckily there's nothing coming over that at the moment. But there's a concrete slab up back there, and that is perfect for putting your box on and fishing. You can see, just by looking at that, there's a lovely spray ladders all together. I'll just see if I can show you the peg 96. Somebody spinning the pike on the actual peg. But this is it, this is peg 96, another one you can get right down the water to. So, if you can actually get in the water here and go out sort of about 7 or 8 feet from the bank. You can see why it's such a good peg. And I don't know whether I can cross the road here, but I'll have a look anyway. Hereford Cathedral opposite. I don't know whether I can get down here, I'm not too sure. Oh, as it happens, you can, there's a nice path here. Well, these tennis court pegs, they haven't been fishing at all. They, you can sort of catch in very low weights, 5 or 6 pound. Apparently, according to the bailiff I spoke to earlier on, they've started fishing again now, so it seems like the fish have started to settle down into their usual haunts. Looks like there's a pretty obvious reason why they call it the tennis courts, as it appears if it is. Well, they're grassed tennis courts. Can't see anything that stands out to me about the pegs. They just look pretty much like the other pegs. Nice little park for people in Hereford. It's a play area for the kids opposite. This peg strikes me as quite a good one because you can actually get right down to this peg. Gentleman also doing some burning of twigs in a row, maybe a bit of grass. This again is another favourable peg. And well, you can see why these pegs are so good here, can't you? Because you can actually get right down to the water, create a netting nicely. That appears to be stable enough to stand on down here. So again, there's another nice big little moorhen in the water there. This is interesting. Particularly looking at this peg here, this is the peg that Clive Branson fished on. He had 95 pound of fish, mostly dace. Sat on that stump there. And there you go. Okay folks, a little bit of an update. While I was down on the tennis court section, I bumped into Dead Ship. Anyone who watches the angling videos on YouTube will see he's a regular on YouTube, and he is a prolific angler. We do subscribe to Pressing Innovations as well, and he fished the tennis courts. He'd already packed up. He had another person with him. I don't know whether he was doing filming, so I didn't film Des because I think that's rude, to be honest with you, and inappropriate. You know, unless you ask for somebody's permission, you shouldn't just stick a camera in their face, because I wouldn't like it myself. So he did inform me that he's had a really good day. He's had what he's estimated between 250 and 300 pound of fish on one of the tennis court pegs. So if anyone's got a mind to come up here, that seems to be where the fish are holding at the moment. And they are still in peg 96, but that has been hammered so much, I think a lot of the shoal that was there has dropped down below that bridge now. And you know, that's a good bit of information for anyone who's got a mind to come up here, is don't dismiss the tennis courts at the moment. These fish do move. It could be the case of when you decide to come up here that the fish have moved to a different area, but they're here at the moment. The river's low, and it's been a fairly mild day, if annoying because of the wind for me, but you know, if I was catching the type of fish he's been catching today, you'd forget about the wind. Anyway, with that, it's goodbye for me. I'll catch you again on the bank. I'm gonna make my move now back home to Cardiff.